come back and in a critical time for our nation. I always say that. I know I always say that to you guys. That's because it's always true. But a critical time, especially as we see not the vote, but voters, Black voters under attack.
We know how better than anyone else to move and operate in this moment. But the challenge is we have to first start serving each other better than we have in the past. And that is really what I would love to see us do, which is collectively, how do we get together? How do we start talking? How do we start mobilizing and strategizing together? I was recently on the phone this morning with the CBC asking, what are they doing about the VRA? Mm-hmm. And you've probably heard this too. Their point is that we got to, pass the John Lewis voting rights bill. We've got to, reform the Supreme Court, right? We've got, and it's like, well, that all sounds great, very abstract, very long term, but what are we doing in the short term? Right on the heels of the most devastating law that's been undermined, post sort of affirmative action, what are we doing in this moment to awaken Black mobilization, to awaken Black people to this moment? And if I had to be a little self-critical of myself and the Democratic Party and Democratic leadership, I remember when I was working in the Obama White House and came back after Trump won, and my first meeting with Nancy Pelosi was, I was going to run the opposition to Trump. She said, you can have it. What are the messaging frameworks? And this is like, again, 2 months after he took office, one of the messaging frameworks was that he was going to undermine American democracy, right? That was one of my frameworks. She was like, all right, give me a strategy on how you're going to make that cement in the minds of the American public. So we hit it hard. We ran on an anti sort of Trump under a threat to American democracy for 4 or 5 cycles in one. But we never talked about undermining Black political power as part of the undermining of democracy. We never even talked about the VRA. Now that I think, and I just thought about that this morning, like we talked about everything else. We talked about the Supreme Court. We talked about abortion rights. We never, ever, I don't recall mentioning the Voting Rights Act potentially being undermined as one of the most devastating impacts to Black political power, as a motivating factor to turn out Black vote. I don't think we ever did that. So anyway,
but Ashley, I appreciate you and all of us who are in leadership, especially who don't mind admitting we're Democrats, taking onus and responsibility. But there are some things in this country that have been so sacrosanct that I really think, as you said earlier, there were many of us who thought, surely this can't happen. Okay, well, this happened, but surely this can't happen. Okay, this happened, but this is long settled, right?
Suspect. I played that clip the other day, and I don't know, I just thought I'd take another bite at the apple on it. My mic is on, right? Jesus. Can't believe I didn't have my mic on earlier. We talked about this the other day. I thought I'd come back and get another swing at the ball, see if I can hit this one out. Here's my thing. I'm noticing a lot of Black folks, like this Monique Pressley. I don't know the other lady's name, but a lot of these, I guess she's a political operative. I remember when she was working with Bill Cosby, wasn't it? Then she left the Bill Cosby case, and I don't know. Look, guys, they're going to be adopting a lot of the language of Grassroots because they're around to hear us talking. I heard Roland Martin use the same term, Black Power. They're trying to get as close as they can to, some of the, what the kids are saying, what the movement is online that they're, opposed to. And I'm just saying that's not going to be good enough. Yeah, you adopting some of the language, using a couple of some of the vernacular is not going to be enough, because at the end of the day, fam, they're not going to stand on it. I mean, if you're calling the Congressional Black Caucus asking what they're going to do, you already said who you are. You work for Obama, and then you're calling them. How are you going to call the people that are responsible for letting this shit get where it is to ask them what they're going to do to fix it? If you drove a car in a ditch, you're drunk behind the wheel, I don't want you to drive me home. Let's get somebody else in the seat. But see, that's what I'm saying. It's all team ball. These people don't really care about the car getting out the ditch. Now it's about who can they throw under the bus and sacrifice to blame it on them while the rest of them look like heroes for pretending to be of the unwiped, unclean masses who are upset. They continue, as they pretend to be, as appalled as we are. They can tap into angry blackness. The black folks that feel disenfranchised and feel like we lost something. So, mobilizing and strategizing and trying to gear up black people to fight to keep the voting rights. We still can vote. And a lot of people that hear it, they don't hear anything else. That's all they hear is voting rights. They think we can't vote. They think some people are not being able to cast their ballots. They know what they're doing. Family, they are very deceptive. They know what they're doing with the language that they're using. She worked for Obama. Her job when she left the Obama presidency, she worked with the anti-Trump movement. And Trump is undermining democracy. Trump is trying to stop democracy. Fam, all the shit they talk about Trump, if Trump is Hitler, and Trump is a neo-Nazi, and Trump is white supremacist and super racist and all these things you say, why would you think he would not roll back Voting Rights Act with the help of his Supreme Court? Why are you surprised? I'm just saying. If you're saying the guy is all these negative things, all these racist, bigot, every second, every time I turn around, I got a Democrat on TV telling me how Trump is all of these things. David Duke's cousin. Margaret Singer's boyfriend. I don't know, you know? King Leopold. All these, they label Trump all of these labels. And then they say, but I didn't expect. He said mean things. He did this. See, it's like it's all contradictions of themselves. You're contradicting yourself all the way across the board. And at the end of the day, I mean, if Trump was these things, you wouldn't be talking. Yeah, if Trump really was this person that they say, they would be quiet. Most of these people are cowards, Johnson. They don't know what hard work is, and they damn sure ain't ready for no real fights. They ain't trying to sit in jail for real. They ain't doing no freedom rides. That's going to put them in harm's way. That might get them buried in an unmarked grave. They're not out here risking shit, except followers on Blue Sky. Okay? That's about it. And, invitations to the next reunion for Stephanie Mills and Johnny Gill. Right? Come on, man. We're going to be real to be real. Hoping they can go to Sierra Russell Westbrook's next anniversary party or some shit. John Legend and his unbearable wife's next get together. I mean, really, what are we talking about? These people are not focused on the shit we're focused on. And all this hyper ventilating over Trump, it's just, if you can't see through it, I mean, I gotta wonder, are you trying to see through it? But nah, these two sisters here, they're performative, and it's not going to work. I mean, I'm sorry, family. For them, ladies, we're way past this bullshit stage you still suck on, where you can just come up here and say, we don't really like the way things are going, and things been going bad a long time. For you now to wake up, oh shit, well I didn't expect that. Let's get in gear. Black power. Sit your entire ass down. Yeah, I know you black. Sit your black entire ass down. We ain't going for it. Look, fam. the freedom fish. Yo, see, this is why.
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either. Look.
Oh. Oh God, man. Stop, man. Stop. All right.